I know people that are 89, 90, 92, 93 years old that are literally perfect, but Joe was not one of them. And they did a lot of hiding. They were really playing games, and you know, you can't do that. Our country's at stake. You see, even a thing like this, there's so many decisions for billions and billions, but then you have even more important decisions. You have decisions for life, and you can't have a man in that condition. And everybody was holding back, including the president.
You can say that again, Mr. President. That was President Trump commenting on the latest release, audio, Robert Hur interview. Remember the tapes that Biden claimed were executive privilege? Everybody was saying, wait a minute, Nixon had to give up his tapes. Why don't you give your tapes up? No, executive privilege. They covered this up. It's the greatest scandal in American history. I'm going to share with you this quick clip. Now, all of a sudden, after the media for years was calling us nuts, now Fake Tapper is even using that post right there, that clip, to help sell his next book. We've got Jasmine full of Crockett, Madame Ghetto, as I call her, claiming that the reason Kamala lost was, again, because of race. I'm going to share that with you. But the real gist of this video that I want to share with you today is President Trump posted two. One of them was very, very eerie about Clinton's and Kennedy, especially JFK's son, JFK Jr., and his untimely end. Holy mackerel. This is the most cryptic, eerie post I've ever seen. And then he also posted another clip of a Democrat who was accosted by a white liberal over her being black and not being automatically a Democrat. It is to die for. Amazing, hugely powerful. But first, I want to share this clip with you right here. This is Trump posting this on Truth Social about the Clintons. And the caption reads, "The Clintons don't want you to know this." Check this out.
Runner for the New York Senate seat back in 1999. Days later, his plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, and his rival, Hillary Clinton, was elected senator. Mary Mahoney was a Clinton White House intern. She knew enough of the inner workings of Bill's sexual advancements to be a star witness during the Clinton impeachment trials. She was brutally executed at a Starbucks she was managing in 1997. In 1993, White House counsel Vince Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park near D.C. He supposedly killed himself, and among a lengthy list of potential foul play, the bullet was never found. Then there's James McDougal, a key witness for White House prosecutors. He was serving his 3-year sentence for bank fraud at the Fort Worth Federal Medical Center in Texas. And just before he was to give a testimony before the grand jury, McDougal suffered a heart attack in solitary confinement. In 2015, Walter Scheib, a White House chef hired under Bill Clinton, joined the list. His body was found at the bottom of a river, nearly 2 miles from the base of the trail he was reportedly hiking. An autopsy determined that Scheib's death was accidental drowning, but he might have known too much. 27-year-old Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich was shot and killed in D.C. this year. There is speculation that he was the source of the controversial leaked emails allegedly sent by DNC staffers, and that he may have been murdered in retaliation. Then Sean Lucas, the lead attorney in a fraud case against the DNC, was found lying on the bathroom floor by his girlfriend when she returned home on August 2nd. His death was reported classified, pending the results of an autopsy. To this day,
So I have verified everything that is in that video. All of those people, the way that they shuffled off this mortal coil is exactly the way that was presented in that video that President Trump posted today. Why? And just a quick correction. The caption read, "This is what Hillary, not Bill, this is what Hillary Clinton does not want you to know." I can say from staffers and people that I know very closely, sources, colleagues, friends who have actually worked with Hillary Clinton, whether in a small capacity or in a very deeply connected, significant capacity, I don't think I've ever heard one nice thing about Hillary. Not one. As a matter of fact, It's quite the opposite. If anything, all I've heard about experiences of people who have worked closely with Hillary Rodham Clinton, former Secretary of State, former presidential candidate, wife to Bill Clinton, former president. You know, she's dying, itching to become president. There was even talks and murmurs that she might even run again, which is absolutely bonkers. Every single thing that I've heard about anybody who's come within contact of her and worked with her said it was an absolute hellscape working with her. She was incredibly mean, incredibly vitriolic, incredibly rude, incredibly demeaning. I mean, the stories that I've heard are absolute horror stories. I'll have to do an entire other video of the specificities of what I've heard, what it's like working with her. I've never heard anything nice. I've never heard she was an absolute delight. She was kind. She was generous, empathetic, giving, warm, loving. Never heard anything like that. Have you? Let me know in the comments down below. But the timing of this is so interesting. Biden's mental capacity, we knew it all along. They called us conspiracy theorists. If you missed the video that I posted yesterday, the Robert Hur tapes were finally released, at least a portion of them. They say that more is going to come out. So stay tuned. Your boy Nez will always keep you in the loop on that and be first to break the story. Is President Trump hinting at something in this video? I mean, I feel like our guy, President Trump, this is our guy right here. I feel like he doesn't do anything accidental. He's always playing 4D chess while the rest of the world is playing checkers. What is the significance of this post today, Saturday, May 17th, 2025, when we just got the release of the audio tapes that have confirmed everything that any intelligible human being, American citizen and beyond could tell just by using their very senses and their sense of sight, sound, and perception. We could have all decided we don't need a medical report. We don't need a forensic study. We don't need an MRI. We knew he was cooked. Timing of this is really intriguing. Is President Trump saying that you're going to start seeing a lot of accidents? Are the Clintons behind something more nefarious? I mean, I've compared Kamala Harris's rise to the 2024 candidate to something right out of House of Cards, a show that I used to watch fervently. I love that show, House of Cards. Let me know if you've ever seen House of Cards. The only reason to watch Netflix, literally. Netflix is such a woke site now. It's awful. Although I do say Black Mirror. I do like Black Mirror. The new season's pretty amazing. What is he trying to say with the releasing of this video? I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. Speaking of absolute farces and cooked vegetables, here is fake Tapper right here hawking his book live on CNN, using a clip of Trump and then saying fact check true to sell his book. The man is shameless. Watch.
In my upcoming book with Alex Thompson, I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's on Biden's decline. It's called Original Sin. The book and excerpts and reviews and such have resurfaced the conversation about age and President Biden's aging. And there's been a lot of talk about the unreleased as yet audio of Biden's 2023 interviews with Special Counsel Robert Hur. Those interviews, among other factors, led Hur and his team of prosecutors to conclude that while they thought Biden mishandled classified information, they couldn't successfully prosecute him because a jury would not convict, quote, a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory, unquote. They didn't think they could get a conviction. Today, President Trump was asked whether he will release the audio of the tapes, which prior Attorney General under Joe Biden, Merrick Garland, had blocked from release.
That's up to Pam and the group. I haven't really looked into it. Look, everybody understands the condition of him. I know people that are 89, 90, 92, 93 years old that are literally perfect. But Joe was not one of them. And they did a lot of hiding.
Fact check true.
Imagine writing a book and profiting off of a topic about something that you were complicit in, covering up one of the greatest scandals in American history that you helped to propagate. And then after it's now come to real fruition and evidentiary light saying, oh, well, they never told us. Legacy media is dead. That is the personification of mainstream media and the absolute cacophony of lies that they have thrust upon the American public time and time again. And they're still going. Okay, before I show the clip, the second clip that Trump posted today with the African-American female and how she was approached by a white liberal, claiming, why are you not a Democrat just because she's black? It's a great video. I'm going to share that. I think it's appropriate to segue it off of this ridiculous video by Madame Ghetto, Jasmine Full of Crockett, who's part of the Broken Brain Brigade called the Radical Left. Here she is talking to Chuck Todd about why Kamala lost in 2024 and how, of course, like they always do, it has everything to do with race.
How big do you think this black men voter issue with Kamala Harris, how much of that do you think was specific to hesitation of voting, a black man hesitating to vote for a black woman?
I will tell you what I was told. Because I did think that I definitely think that there was misogyny in this across the board, no matter what color male you're talking about. I just think that you'd be in error to not know that there was misogyny that existed. I will say this though. The very first polling briefing that we had with a pollster that I trust a lot, he briefed the Black Caucus and he said that one of the issues that he was running into with Black and brown communities was that she had been a prosecutor. And
so it's more of a resume thing that,
there was definitely some resume stuff that disallowed her from being able to build the type of rapport of trust within these marginalized communities that historically have been targeted. The guidance that I was given was to actually lean into her being a prosecutor. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm like, that is not helpful, right? And so, but I did talk to some people, even a prominent rapper who was like, I'm going to support her, but I don't feel comfortable openly endorsing her, but I'm going to vote for her. And I'm like, why? And so he told me that one of the issues was just kind of like the prosecutor thing. And I said, and I made sure to talk about the things that we have been told move the needle with these groups, right?
This is the party that says we're not about race. We're not about discrimination. We're about equity. We're about inclusion. We're about diversity. And every single time when something doesn't go their way, they make it about race. Even when things go their way, they make it about race, for crying out loud. It has zero to do with the fact that she was unqualified. She was a VIP disaster. She had one job to be the border czar, and we had the worst border crisis in the history of our country. She was asked one poignant question on an actual friendly network, The Spew. What would you do differently that Joe Biden has done? The guy literally destroyed the country in 4 years. And she goes, I can't think of anything. No. It's misogyny. No. It's because black and brown people, I mean, listen to the language. They're afraid they're going to get arrested. She arrested too many black and brown people. We're afraid because she's This is how they think. And it's the perfect segue to this next clip that President Trump posted today, which is so powerful. Watch this.
When I first announced my run for Congress, I had this random white woman, liberal, walk up to me and ask, well, what about you isn't Democrat? To which I responded, well, besides my skin color, what about me is Democrat? And it was at that very moment that she realized that God gave her enough common sense to ask me about my values. Now, don't get me wrong, I was raised to vote Democrat down the ballot. So when I first started, I would say things like, I'm a Republican, but I'm not a conservative. But now I know all too well I am a full-fledged, hardcore conservative, and I'm proud of it. I mean, my favorite saying is I was born black, not Democrat. But in all seriousness, whenever I began to think for myself politically, the choice was easy. I mean, why would I want to belong to a party whose mission is to infringe on the Second Amendment as if a criminal would ever participate in something like a mandatory buyback? Why would I want to belong to and endorse a godless party? Because there is no such thing, and I mean no such thing as a trans child. We have confused children and sick, enabling adult Why would I want to belong to a party that takes pride in shedding innocent blood? Number one, as if that's not what God hates. Number two, as if there's not a black market for baby organs. And number three, as if abortion clinics didn't start in the hood. Because if you think Trump is bad, you should research exactly who Margaret Sanger was. But speaking of the black community, why would I want to belong to a party who's responsible for the foundation of the Triple K? But it's not just that. Supposedly in the 1900s, the party switched, right? But what never changed, what I noticed never changed, is Democrats' love for immigration and how they have always prioritized that over the black community. I mean, imagine every single Democrat leader helping you joke about what a black job is in 2024, exposing your ignorance on 1924 and how imperative the Immigration Act of that year was, how it was all reversed in 1965 with the Hart-Celler Act, how Congress refuses the advice of the Rockefeller Commission and the Hesburgh Commission, and how to this day they refuse to adopt the Barbara Jordan blueprint, validating every single thing that Dr. Claude Anderson spoke of generally, but specifically what Mrs. King spoke of in 1991 with her letter to Congress. Now look, I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect. No, nobody's perfect. What I'm saying is I saw with Malcolm X when he said that the liberals were the worst thing that could ever happen to the Western Hemisphere, but y'all ignore that, just like how y'all ignore LBJ saying, and I quote, "I'm going to have Negroes voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and by God, 60 years later, I see no sign of recourse, but rest assured your vote is your voice, even if it is a whisper."
Two posts from Trump today. That one and the one about the Clintons. What's the significance? What's the meaning? Is he just posting? I mean, this is the busiest man, the leader of the free world. He doesn't just post for just posting's sake, does he? I mean, he used to kind of. I know he just likes to rant sometimes. He hasn't really done that in the past. Usually when he posts now, there's some real intention, significance. There's obviously his style. His style kind of comes off ranty, which is why we love him, which is why I love having this hat, which, by the way, you can find in our shop in the pinned comment and description. Shameless plug. I love this thing. It's amazing. It's original. Made in the USA. What a powerful clip. Peyton Jackson, you have my vote. You have intelligence. You are exercising what I have tried to advocate to my classes when I was teaching at the university full time. Critical thinking, critical discernment. We've lost a lot of that. I can't wait to get your thoughts on all of this stuff. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for making it this far. Check out these videos. You're going to love these videos. You probably missed one of these. Click on that right now. Click on my face right there to subscribe and follow. You can also click on subscribe down below. Our newsletter's in the pinned comment as well. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.